standing up for now. You gotta stand up. You look like your daddy does. How many does he have? None yet. You're the only girl today. Yeah.
Did you folks get the bulletin to see?
Yes.
So as soon as sitting on the document day is finished,
Okay, so we're on the internet. Where we want to go, baby?
David's dad, Don, was our uncle, and my mom and Don were brother and sister. And we're going to sing a song that when the boys were little, Stephen and David, they always asked us to sing, and then they wanted us to teach them this song. So that's the song we're going to sing for you today, Heaven Come Down. Oh, what a wonderful, wonderful day, day I will never forget. After I wandered in darkness away, Jesus my Savior I met. Oh, what a tender, compassionate friend, he met the need of my heart. Shine as dispelling with joy I am telling, he made all the darkness depart. Heaven came down and glory filled my soul. When at the cross the Savior made me whole, my sins were washed away, and my night was turned to day. Heaven came down and glory filled my soul. Now I will hope that will surely endure after the passing of time. I have a picture in heaven for sure, there in those mansions sublime. And it's because of that wonderful day when at the cross I believe. Riches eternal and blessings supernal from his precious hand I received. Heaven came down and glory filled my soul. When at the cross the Savior made me whole, my sins were washed away, and my night was turned to day. Heaven came down and glory filled my soul. Heaven came down and glory filled my soul.
Good morning. I want to welcome everyone here today. This is a celebration of life. It's a celebration of the life of David Riley. David was one of those unique individuals that had a very special place here in our church, a very special place in the life of his family. And we all loved him so very, very much. David was born on December the 20th, 1962. And he went home to be with the Lord on June the 18th of this year here in Neptune Beach. And so as we gather today to remember just what an incredible guy he was. Not a perfect guy. We all have flaws, but a man that truly was unique and wonderful in just his own ways. He is survived by his mother Penny, as well as his brother Stephen, his sons Zach and David, his grandson Jackson, as well as, I don't know if you can even This is almost like Abraham's family. Brings his sand on the beach and all of his family, his extended family. It's just amazing from Indiana here at the beaches. And so we're here to remember David and to celebrate his life and to celebrate how he touched our lives. You know, over in John's Gospel, the 14th chapter, there's a very, very special verses that I wanted to share today to kind of get us moving in the right direction. Jesus taught his disciples this the evening before he was crucified. This was taught just before he was arrested. And he understands that they're going to be grieving the next day because they don't quite yet get the understanding of the resurrection. So they don't even know for sure that he is going to be crucified. They know that things are turbulent and that he is troubled, but he teaches them these words so that it might bring them comfort. It says, "Do not let your hearts be troubled. Trust in God. Trust also in me." There's no way that we can come into this room today, even though we are celebrating David's life, that our hearts aren't troubled. We experience grief. And our grief is as unique as our fingerprints. You know, you might be a cousin of David's, but every single one of you have a different sense of grief as you mourn and as you were bereaved over his passing. Zach's grief is totally different than everyone else's. As his friends, we all have different levels and shades of grief. But the antidote for all of that is that we need to trust in God and trust also in Jesus. Jesus goes on and says, "In my Father's house are many, many rooms. If it were not so, I would have told you. I'm going there to prepare a place for you, and if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come back and take you to be with me, that you also may be where I am. And you know the way to the place where I'm going." And Thomas said to him, "Lord, we don't know where you're going, so how can we know the way?" And Jesus answered one of the most prolific statements that he made in all the Gospels. He gives this exclusive reality on how to get to where he is. "I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me." And it's so good that I can stand up here as David's pastor and know where David is. And that I can be able to share with you the assurance of the fact that he was a Jesus follower. And so as we celebrate his life today, we also celebrate the fact that he is at home with Jesus. He is now experiencing the gift of eternal life, and that he is more alive and more content and knows more joy and peace than anything that we can imagine in this life on planet Earth. So we do celebrate his life. So let's go to the Lord in prayer. Dear God, I thank you so much that you were with us in every season and circumstance of life that we face. When we go through times like this, where there's just so many different feelings, that we even just feel dazed and confused sometimes by the feelings that we do have. That there's sorrow and sadness, and then as we remember the amazing times and the humor of David, it brings smiles to our faces. We thank you for David's life. We thank you for the blessing of having had the opportunity to know him. And we ask that you bring us comfort, that you bring us consolation today, that we ask that we'll know your peace. God, we pray that we'll all be able to support each other and encourage each other through this time of loss. And God, we pray that David's life, as imperfect and as flawed as it might be, also showed and directed a man who had a huge heart, that cared so much about people, and a man who had a great sense of humor, and a man who loved his Lord, Jesus. And so we celebrate it today, and we celebrate what Jesus brings, the changes that he makes in our lives, and the comfort that he promises. In his name I pray. Amen.
As Pastor Tom said, even through times of grief and heartache, when we're connected with Christ, when we reach out to the Lord, there's a peace that passes understanding. And we're about to sing a song together. It is well with my soul. This is a great hymn of our faith. I'm going to ask you if you'd like to participate, if we'll all stand. And there are hymnals in the pews in front of you, the green books. And turn to hymn number 410, 410. Let's sing this
about people that are in our lives. And we're going to spend some time, since this is a life celebration of David Riley, having some folks share their impressions, their memories, their reflections about living with David, growing up with David, sharing the impressions of how he has touched their lives. I think Mark is going to come and share, and Scarlett. I think Zach is going to share, as well as Stephen Jr. and others. And after they are finished, then you are welcome. The mic is open for you to come and share briefly your impressions and your memories as well. So I'm going to ask Scarlett if you'll come first and share, and then any others that would like to share after those folks that I have just mentioned. So Scarlett, why don't you come and share, and then Zach and Mark and Stephen, you can come after that.
I can't look straight. They asked me to talk first because my sister and I grew up with David and Stephen, just as you cousins all kind of together. And, you know, our family's so different. My siblings could be my parents, so growing up, really, I mean, God gave me three now amazing other fathers and 2 amazing other mothers. So really, their children were my cousins, and it was always growing up, from what I remember, Stephen and David and Sandy and I getting in some kind of trouble. I was the baby, so I was the one that they kind of protected. Sandy was the one that was always trouble back then. So her and David were always doing something. They were always getting in trouble. But I remember one of the stories they wanted me to share. I lived in Atlantic Beach. I used to take a bus to Bowles, and this kid used to be in the bus and used to hit me and he'd bully me, and I was so upset about it. And Sandy or somebody said, "You need to tell Stephen and David." So I called, and I think we were at something, and I told them, and I was all upset because, you know, this kid was like 6 years older than me. And during our year of college, because when I read this story, I realized our children did the same thing. Because Stephen and David showed up at the bus stop and took care of it. Just like any good cousin should. So thank you, Zach and Stephen. David was an amazing man. I probably had the biggest crush on him growing up, to be honest. They say my first husband kind of made look like him, maybe not, I don't know. But he was such a great kid and so cool, and I looked up to him so much. And his fall affected me. And I thank him sadly for his fall, because I had dropped out of school, doing a lot of cocaine, doing a lot of stuff I shouldn't have been doing. And if his fall hadn't happened, my life would have changed. Okay? He took me to my first and Navy. And I just hope to God, guys, especially these cousins, that we all learn something from our family. We're hurting, and we don't remember the end, we remember the middle. Because we have been given such a great gift from our parents and our grandparents, and we've also been given a great curse. Secondly, cousins, love each other. Because let me tell you something, don't not pick up that phone when you think about it. We've got a great family, and we are so loved, and we all love each other so much. And I thank David because he was always there when I had my breakdown. And, you know, I went and stayed at Penny's. He was always there. And I met my husband, and we were dating just a few months, and he was in the program, and he drank. I was going to break up with him. I'm so mad. And David put me in my place and went to meetings with my husband. And he's been sober 7 years, and it's changed the trajectory of our family. So let's keep doing that, guys. And I know y'all remember him as older, but you know, we were just like you guys, and we were cool and fun and good looking and had hair. But let's just, I love you guys, and I just, you know, there was so much good, there was so much talent. And I thank David so much for being like a big brother, because my brothers were fathers. And just always being there. And he loved his family, and he loved his mom. Thank you.
My name is Zach Rowley. David was my dad. And basically, it was one of a kind. He was a very loving person. Hold on. He was a very loving person. He cared about everyone. But he had a temper. He was the meanest person I knew. But the only reason he ever got mad is because you weren't doing what he wanted, and all he wanted was good for everyone. So when you weren't doing that, he'd get pissed, and he was the only person that could actually hurt my feelings. And I miss him a lot, and he's in a better place. This isn't a funeral, it's a celebration of life. That's all I got.
Thank you, Lord Jesus Christ. By your grace and mercy and love, to allow us together to come today for this beautiful, loving celebration of my dearly beloved David Leslie Riley. Oh, Jesus, help me, Father. Help us all, Jesus Christ, to see our need of you, Father in heaven. You're the only one that can condescend by your grace and mercy to help us in our time of need, in our time of desperation. That you would condescend by your grace and your mercy to touch our beautiful, beautiful, beautiful family. We need you, Lord. Pray your Holy Spirit, Father, to come down and help us all, Lord God. We desperately need you, Lord. Help us in our need. Help us in our affliction. Help us be joyful in this beautiful occasion that David is definitely going on to be a better place. I praise God for him. I thank God for him. I thank God for all of our beautiful family that's gathered here today, Lord God. I've been asked by my very beautiful, precious, special little niece Abby to say something on behalf of Stephen Mark Raleigh, my namesake, on his inability, David's inability, and Stephen's inability to be here, Father. He's a soccer cat. Lord, we just thank you for Stephen's witness and testimony to the fact that he loved his brother David very much. They were drawn closer together over these last several years. And every time Abby and I would go and visit with Steve, he would always mention the fact how much he loved his brother and how much he needed his brother and how much David was filling the gap for him in different things that he was responsible to do, different functions, different legal matters, issues that Stephen was in the process of trying to get an appeal. And as far as we know as a family, that hasn't gone through yet. So let's pray earnestly that it can happen. Because I'm going to speak briefly to Steve dearly loved all of his children and still loves all of his children. He's there for you even now. He's there for you. He loves all of you. Every time Abby and I go, and when I go alone, he always mentions your name, each one of you by name. Please, I beg you in the name of Jesus Christ, and all the humbleness and love I can have, to find some grace and mercy to forgive him for the wrong that he's caused. Every single one of you. I know, we as a family know what it's like to go through divorce. My blessed father was married. I can't remember how many times he was married. I think it was, what, 6 or 7? 6? Still counting, right? So, nevertheless, Dad was he was something to behold. Let's put it very, very lightly. But it's all gonna work out. Amen. I appreciate Carlos and Ricky standing here beside me, and let's continue to pray for one another. And if God can work it all out, I would love for the family to communicate with their Father. And I know He wants to communicate with you. I know He has tried to communicate with you. Please. Well, listen, they let you in, they let anybody in. Thank you very much.
Can I say a few words just real quick? I want y'all to know something about David. David was always a little bit on the, he was different, but he had a heart of gold, and he was always there. And, when I was locked up, and I have no shame in my game about what I've done, and God is with me tremendously right now. But he would always be there for me. He would take me to court. He would, be there encouragement to me in meetings, and AA and NA and all that kind of stuff. And he came to see me. He came to see me 3 times at my job before he died. And it was almost his way of saying that, Ricky, I love you. And I don't know how much longer I'm going to be here. And I don't know, all the particulars or anything. But I want y'all to know that he was a real special person. And I want him to come up here, but I want everybody to know that I'm going to miss him very much. Because sometimes when I was down, and he didn't know I was down, he'd come over and encourage me. And that's about all I have to say of the fact that I love him. I'm going to miss him very much.
Hello, everybody. I know a lot of you guys don't recognize me at all. I've known David for only about 3 years. My name is Brett Blum, and I'm part of we created an organization in North Portland. This is Steve Arden, and he's part of our organization as well. And honestly, we're a bunch of guys that do this sort of hybrid surf sport. We're sit on top surfboards called wave ski, a lot like hybrid between a kayak and a surfboard. And David, I know, was a much more avid surfer than just a guy on a wave ski, but he could do it all. That guy grew up surfing. That guy, when he was transitioning after having some health issues, said, "Hey, I'll try this wave skiing thing," and he was amazing. He got great at it, and then he joined our club. Even as he was moving on to doing a stand-up paddleboard thing, and just ripping it up on the waves doing that too. And he's still on with us. And he is just a really, really generous soul. And, we'd have a social gathering, and you better bring your appetite. Because David's going to show up, and he's going to have a big thing of fish, he's going to have oysters, he's going to have some sort of fancy salad. It's just like, oh man, it's always a good thing to have David come. And we do it. And he was a great host. I mean, we'd go, he moved to this place just a couple of blocks from here, and set it up like a surf camp in the back. And we could go surf on the beach, and then the next thing you know, there's showers, this whole place is opened up for us. And we loved it. we absolutely loved David. And he was quite the artist too. This logo that we're wearing, our logo that we, for our small club, he designed it. And we'll cherish that forever.
In the short time that I knew David, one thing that always came across was his willingness to share his life, share his passion for whatever he did. David was a very passionate person. He got into it. Boy, would. And you knew out of the lineup that he was at peace out there. He made us very welcome out there. And he will be sorely missed out there. And when we're out there and we see the dolphins come, we know that David is visiting us. He's always going to be watching over us.
And just real quick, in the Christian community that I have been a part of for quite a number of years, they teach us that if you really want to know where your heart is, look to where you invest your time, your talent, and your treasure. And that's where your heart is. And what I came to realize pretty early on is that David was incredibly generous with his time, his talent, and his treasure. And I came to realize that that's where his heart was, with his friends and his family. And we didn't know David in the early years or the middle years. He did confide and share a lot with us. But I think about that bumper sticker that you see sometimes that said that God so loved the world that he didn't form a committee. Well, Jesus so loved the world that he didn't consult an efficiency expert. Because let's be honest, if Jesus were to consult an efficiency expert, he would never employ the people that he employs to see who Jesus really is. And if you think of the original apostles, how flawed, how incredibly flawed. I mean, look at Peter. Just when Jesus most needed him, Peter let him down. And yet Peter and those men, those salty fishermen, created a movement that recreated the entire world and showed the world the benevolent creator. And so, you know what? I really got to see the creator through David, through his generosity and his kindness. And I'm so blessed to have experienced that. And thank you guys so much for having us here and letting us share this. It was so important to us.
David was a true waterman. It was in his bones. He loved the ocean, and he loved to surf. And like his personality, when he surfed, he was so graceful and natural. He was just at home. But I think the thing that I'm going to miss most about David is his open heart. He opened his heart to all around him. He was such a lovely person. And I thought it was interesting that I didn't know him early in life, but even after I'd just known him for maybe a couple of times we'd gone out, I felt like I had a friend for life. He was just that kind of person with everybody. He just had a beautiful heart. Thank you. so much, Abby, for keeping us up to date, letting us know how things were going, and we really appreciate that.
For me, Pop David was my father-in-law. I'm the mother of his grandson. He was so devoted to him. The last 6 months we didn't get to see each other as much as we normally did, but he was definitely the first person who would be there in a heartbeat if we needed him. He insisted that even though me and his David Jr. had been separated for about 2 years, that once O'Reilly, always O'Reilly. That once you're in the family, you can't escape. And no matter what, I was always going to be his daughter. And especially when we first separated, he was there almost every week. Wanted to make sure everything was as normal as it could be for his grandson. He was there for the Halloween 2 weeks after David had first split up, and he just he was one of the people that I first met when we were dating, and even that first month, like a lot of people have said, right away he made you feel like family. I'm gonna miss him. There's a lot of people.
Grandma wanted to come on with you.
I know. Oh my gosh.
Thank you, Uncle David, for like stepping into my life and being there for me. He did a lot for me, and he stepped in as like a father figure when my dad went away. We were best friends. We were inseparable and did a lot of stuff together. Gosh, I loved him so much, and I'm gonna miss him. We didn't end on the best of terms, but I love him so much, and Uncle David did so much for me and included me in everything and made me a big deal and like supported me with everything. I'm gonna miss him. I don't know what else to say. Thank you everyone for coming and being here. You loved all you guys.
I'm Stephen's wife. Prior to Stephen and I ever getting married, Zach, and Leslie and I were friends growing up. Lindsay, who's not here, we all went to foundation together. We all went to Girl Pennies and went in the hot tub that drove everybody crazy growing up. I always had a crush on Stephen, but we were about 3 or 4 years of age, so it happened later in life that we got together, and Uncle David came into our lives when I got pregnant more than he was before. The car seat Liam's in right now got for us for the baby shower. He was a part of my daughter's life as well, always thinking of everybody coming to the baby shower and Christmas and really doing a lot for us and wanting to be there, and he wanted to come to the hospital to see Liam. So we're all going to miss him a lot, and they say when one life goes, one comes in, and I just wish it wasn't him, but we all loved him a lot, and I love you guys so much. I'm so happy to be a part of this family. I always felt like I was anyways, but now it makes it real. And I love you guys a lot, and I love Uncle David. I've always called him Uncle David. Me and Lindsay were really good friends together. She called him that, and that's what I called him. She called Girl Penny, and I called her that too. So I've always felt like I've been with you guys, and now I really am. I'm very happy. I love you.
Well, that's good. I just want to say thank you, everybody, for coming. This is hard for me. I can't stand in front of lots of people like this. But thank you. He was the best, uncle I could have ever asked for. He did, more for us than anybody's ever done for me. He showed up for the baby shower and made sure we had, 24 knives and cases of diapers, everything we could ever ask for.
We're still using paper plates because I don't want Stephen to make dishes.
Like us growing up, he made me and Zach like how we were. Like we were scared to death to surf the outside. When he first got out of prison, it took us and he literally drugged us out there. It's the scariest thing in the world. Being in his bed and surfing the waves. We would do it, we got him in, and let's do it again. He just made us who we were, brave, not scared of nothing gnarly. And then other than that, like Zach said, he had a heart of gold, but he was mean. He's not the only guy I've gotten a fist fight on the ground over. Like, when you get up and say, I love you, what were we doing? Make up minutes later. He's awesome. He's heart of gold, meaner than anything too, like Grandpa. So he cut me up with Donnie. Anyways, thanks everybody for coming. We're going to miss him more than anything. He was like a father to me. I'm going to miss him a lot. Thank you, everyone.
Seems like every funeral that I go to, including my dad, I'm always urged to say something, but I'm always the last. Yeah, but I don't to say a story, and this is a lot of things that people don't know about. I was living in St. Louis, and Hodge was a California, and Lindsay was a baby, and I had her in stroller. And I was going down Galveston. She's been, look like David. David's in prison, right? I'm going, couldn't be. I turned around and David, Aunt Linda, I said, right? Say it ain't so. Please say it ain't so. I'm like, oh, yeah. Now I'm evading a fugitive. This is just great. Wonderful. We're passing by this pub thing, right? And I'm talking to Lindsay, and I said, well, best thing we can do, David, right now is smooth on into this pub. So we did. I bought him a beer. Sit your happy ass down and let's just do things. What are you doing? figured it out. Guys, you hear me? My Lord, I really need to go. Zach, he said, and you call John. Say, and I thought y'all were able to say, no, no, this is not gonna work. And so, what he ended up doing was pitching underneath the bridge here in St. Arnold. He ended up jumping in the teeth and hitching the shrimp going south. And so, the thing of it was is that David was a great talent. And he was one of my favorites. And of course, I will never. There's a lot to be said for. And that's about short of it. He is in a better place. He does have the Spirit of Christ, which we all reach for. We all want, in our own heart. We need, we want it. It says hunger and thirst after righteousness. And that way we can have it. And seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you. So therefore, these are the things that David has left us with, and that he's already got. So we praise God, and it is a celebration.
Amen.
Thank you.
There are all these many testimonies and memories. It makes me feel like, wow, God's amazing grace looking down over all of us with his hands outstretched still to receive us if we'll believe. I mean, I'd like to sing Amazing Grace. You can hum and sing with us.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind, but now I see. When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, we've no less days to sing God's praise than when we first begun. Amazing grace, God's grace.
I think Amazing Grace is fitting for any service, but as we get together today, okay, all right.
stood up like 4 times, I swear. Everybody got ahead of me. It's a celebration. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I'm Gabriel, known David since I was born. I guess that's a good thing. And he was. There's one story that I heard. I still don't believe. Him and Steven, right? So they're like the kids who always did troublesome things. And I heard that they had actually gotten at one point in the back of a limousine. Now you can confirm this story.
Station wagon.
And pretended like they were tied.
Station wagon.
Station wagon? Okay. Well, as you can see, by the time it got to me, it was a limousine. I like the limousine. Sounds much better. Back station wagon. I guess that's kind of scary. But they like tied themselves with what, like duct tape or rope or something. Seatbelts. Man, this story was really. It was like. So they're back of a limousine and they're duct taped their mouths. No, I don't know. But there was cars driving by and they're like. Help! And I didn't see it. I just heard it. It was just one story. Uncle Daryl could probably tell you more. Evidently, Scarlett back of station wagon with seatbelts. I don't know. I think you guys could do better. Okay. There were cops. I just thought it was funny, but I didn't know there was actually police. Oh, the driver. There was a driver?
Yes.
I wasn't there. They'll tell you all the details. All the details. But, I have my story, of course. Growing up at Grandma Val's house, we all get together and have the big family dinners and the big everything. Now, for those of you who know Grandma Val, her house was like a bunch of scary. God bless you, Grandma. I loved you. I love you. I even loved it when you held me down and took the demons out. It took about 20 minutes, but she got them out. And her house was just wonderful stories. Wonderful stories. You do wrong, you go outside, you pick your own switch. Right? And it was a dark house. It was pain. It was just like pain. And they had those little stickers, those little tiny stickers were everywhere. They were outside by the pool, so you couldn't go to the pool. It's like, oh, Grandma Val's got a pool. You go outside, and then you're picking them out. I mean, she had shag carpet, and the stickers were in the shag carpet. They were everywhere. You couldn't get away from pain. And so we have our dinners, and we have everything. And then, of course, you go outside because it's dark and scary. And sure enough, there's David outside playing golf. Right out there's a big median out there, a big, huge lap. And this is back when you would eat, and it was cool to do a lap, and then you come back and eat some more. I don't know if that's still a tradition or not, but let's bring it back. And so he's out there. He taught me how to golf, and it was a moment. It was a very small moment, but you never ever forget it. And I feel like I've been a bad cousin because I'm not creating these moments that my cousin created. All he did was play golf. That's all he did. He just showed me how to play golf, and I thought I was, of course, oh, you're amazing, Gabriel. Look at what you're doing, I was hitting them in people's yards. That's great. It's awesome. But that's good. Grandma Val's house, though, it was interesting. I mean, whenever I was bad, Mom said, "I'll take the Grandma Val's." Straighten up. Was it Wednesday? And I'm gonna wrap this up, but David and I, we did get close last year. I was having a lot of hard times, and there's David. he's like, hey, come work with me. That sounds like a great idea. So I worked with him, and we got close. And then his famous anger came up, but yeah, but we had similar problems with our stomachs. So we were very at that point he couldn't eat, and it was amazing that I was like, you're alive, and he was running around, and he was doing all these things, and all this energy, and he was just living off chicken broth. It was just like, you're amazing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was just like, how do you have all this energy? Like, I don't have any energy, and I can eat, kind of. And when we would talk about food and pizza. And then we just came to, we were both like, I can't wait to get to heaven. Because there's like an all-you-can-eat buffet up there. Like, anything that we want to eat. Because I can't eat pizza. I also can't eat barbecue bobcat. That's illegal. But in heaven, there's like a buffet. There's like barbecue bobcat, panther, whatever you want. I'm sure it tastes like chicken. I don't know. The point is that this is a celebration, and I'm so glad to see everybody here. Continue to love each other, forgive each other. Good Lord knows I've done terrible things, and I want to be a better husband, and I want to be a better nephew, and I want to be a better uncle, and a husband. I'm doing pretty good as a father, I have to say. Pretty good. God bless you.
I met David back in the 1980s. I've known him a long time. My first impression of David was when he first started coming to our church. I thought, who is this goofy guy? He was always telling jokes, always smiling. This is not going to be pretty. It's not going to be good. He fouls one off, barely touches the ball, and then he hits a home run over the right center field fence. I can remember it, and then he runs around the bases in one of the most goofiest home run trots I've ever seen. That was David. Everything was a game. Everything was fun. In my office, I have a piece of calligraphy that David created. It's Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans that I have for you, declares the Lord, plans of welfare and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope. That was kind of one of those verses that was significant for him as he went through all of the trials and tribulations and the seasons of life, some of those difficult times that he struggled with, some from his own making, some from just the health issues that he was confronted by. He went to Sandalwood High School. He was one of the top young tennis players here in the city. He won the Hidden Hills Club Championship over and over again, he and Stephen Boat. He was an avid shrimper, just an amazing shrimper. I think one of you said that he was a consummate waterman. That indeed he was. He was a licensed tugboat captain, and that takes so much time to study and to prepare for. He was very much involved with the North Florida wave skiers, and he loved paddleboarding. One of the things that he got involved in here and just was really gung-ho about was our King of the Hill surf contest. He was able to join us in our second year of existence, and he was kind of frustrated that there wasn't a paddleboard segment to the competition. And he wanted to be involved, but he wasn't sure how he would be involved. And our surf contest would start early in the morning and would go into the middle to the late afternoon. And he was out there, and our second year we had amazing waves. I mean, it was just unbelievable. The competition was significant. And way on out there, on the way outside, he was standing on that paddleboard, and he stood on that paddleboard probably for the duration of the, I thought this guy's legs must be made out of rubber. The fact that he is out there, and he felt like he was out there to kind of keep everybody else from encroaching in on the surfers, to kind of be there for any need that might come available. He was also quite the entrepreneur. I think he was part of the security detail. His company exactly was something that I think all of us can appreciate the hard work that he put into that to make that successful. He overcame challenges. He was proud of his sobriety. He had one of the biggest hearts of anyone that I've met here at the beach. He was very giving. He was very generous. I think that he was also one of the most incredible artists, naturally trained. I don't think he ever took an art class. But his surf art, his water art, is just second to none. If you go over to my office down the sidewalk, 5 paintings are in my office that David painted that I just appreciate and I cherish just incredibly. They are from the topics are anything from the lifeguard station in Jack's Beach. I think one of the most significant paintings about his family, surfing paintings, and other areas, landmarks here at the beach. He loved his mom a lot. He would bring her to Wednesday night suppers and really was very attentive to her. He was one of our biggest sponsors financially for King of the Hill. This past year, he sponsored one of our pro events through his business because he really believed in that. But more than investing financially in the King of the Hill, recently he came into my office. In fact, it was about 2.5 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. He was struggling with some of the dynamics of the relationships that he had with some of you and his family. And he was really distraught. He was upset. And he said, I really need to get into the Bible. I really need to grow spiritually. I really need to have God more significantly in my life. And so he and I talked and he and I prayed. You know, one of the things that he and I pledged to do, that we would spend time in some one-on-one discipling, and that I would disciple him and kind of build into him and share with him how he might be able to grow to be more effective in his human relationships as a dad, as an uncle, as a person in this family. He truly cared and loved you folks so much. As I think about David, I think about one of the most perfect passages that describes him, because his life was filled with certain battles that he overcame, he would succumb to, and overcome again. It's found in 2 Timothy, the 4th chapter. Paul writes, "For I'm already being poured out like a drink offering, and the time has come for my departure. I have fought a good fight. I have finished the race, and I have kept the faith. Now there is in store for me the crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will award to me on that day, not only to me, but also to all who have long persevered." David fought the good fight. He did keep the faith, and he has finished his race. And so I think that as we come to the conclusion of our service in here today, we realize that David brings so much to the table to inspire us in the way he loved and cared for people. Absolutely, he was not a perfect guy. But in his humanity, you could see the grace of God at work. And through the grace of God, he brought joy and laughter to people's lives. He brought hope. If you watched and saw a life that overcame challenges, he brought hope to those who were being challenged. And so we remember a life that really was well lived. And we also remember a life realizing that because of his faith and hope in Jesus, he has now received that crown of life. He's been able to go home to be with the Lord, and he has a place that has been reserved for him in heaven. At the conclusion of this service, as we finish our last song after I pray, everyone is invited to join us over in the fellowship hall of the church, and we'll have a fellowship meal. And then for those who would like to, we will reconvene down at the Ponte Vedra Valley Cemetery later on this afternoon. So we welcome you to come and fellowship. Bring your stories to share and tell with each other, especially to the family, about those experiences that you shared with David throughout life. Let's pray. Dear God, we thank you so much that you are the life giver, and that you blessed this family, this world with David Riley. We thank you that as he faced his challenges, as he struggled with issues that confronted him throughout his life, he was an overcomer. We thank you for his faith in Jesus Christ. And we thank you that he is at home with you, the consummate, the ultimate overcomer, being with you for eternity. We ask that you be with his family and just give them grace and peace. Let them know your love. Father, bring back incredible memories that bring comfort to them as they go through this season. Help us to continue in our thoughts and memories and the promises and the truth of your word that promises eternal life through Jesus to find comfort and hope. In Jesus' name I pray.
When did you change it? Just say, hey, hey, Dad.
I love you, and I love you, and I miss you, and I hope everything's going well. And today went really well. Uncle David would have liked it a lot, and I don't know what else to say. I talk to you every day, but I love you so much, Dad, and I'm proud of you, and keep praying every day, and we're all praying for your appeal in July, so I love you.
Awesome. Here, you want to hold it for me? I'll
Yeah.
Cuz, we're all waiting for you. We love you. I'm sorry I have not visited you. I've been a bad cousin. Please don't take it personally. I can't wait to see you. Your whole family can't wait to see you. We need you, and we need you now. So as soon as you can, come back and get integrated, and let's start creating some wonderful memories again. All right,
Some
brother.
goofy memories.
Goofy goober that you are. Love you. All right.
That's.
Hey, buddy. Long time no see. Hate that we have to meet on an occasion like this, but you're always in my prayers, and I really thank you for the times that you spent with me, helping me stay sober. You and your crazy ass ways. But anyhow, I love you, buddy, and the times I spent with David, I'd have never met him had it not been for you. And I'm very grateful for that today. I love you, and hang in there. And this young'un of yours, I'm gonna hang on to her a little bit and try to keep her encouraged. So you take care.
Hey Dad, just want to say I love you and I miss you a lot. I'm actually pregnant with a little boy. It's going to be a little boy. His name's Jetty James Riley. I love you and miss you.
Wow. You ruined it. Let's ruin it. I was gonna drop it.
Oh no!
It's for your dad. Do you want to say anything?
Hey, this is your grandson, little Liam
yeah.
Gabriel Riley. Hey Steve, say hey Grandpa. Aww.
The big boy.
You want to say something? Okay,
Hey,
go ahead. Here you go.
Hey Steven, love you. Say something, Jonah.
Hey Dad, just want to let you know I love you and hope you're doing good, and plan on writing you soon and visiting you. Hope you
We love you.
We love you.
We love you.
hope you're doing good. Miss your pops. That's
good. That's good. Say hey, Steven.
I love you, Steven. I love you very much. Your children are beautiful. And there's Dustin right there. Baby.
Well, the little one, that's the smallest one, right? Dustin?
Yeah, Dustin. He's videoing you so your daddy can see you.
This is going to your dad.
This is going to
Say
your
hey,
dad. Hey, Dad.
Just say hey.
Hi.
Hopefully see you soon.
Everywhere.
Thank you.
This concludes our service. So we'll pray for all of you. We love all of you.
Thank you. Thank you, Carl.
They're going to have to get rid of that story or something.